Welcome back to 78.
Your journalism voice
Yes.
has haunted this podcast for nigh on 8 years now.
We bring you breaking news. Don't laugh. It puts me off.
It's really hard not to because it's so fucking weird.
All right, let's start again. Roll it. Welcome back to the 78 AM podcast. We bring you breaking news from the top of the bulletin. I'm wearing crocodiles.
You need an auto cue is what you need.
And then I can slowly read left to right.
That's when they do the
Yes.
to like get the head roll in.
Police say the man is in custody and questioning
What's he questioning?
whether he did the alleged... I don't know.
Can you tell there's a reason that both of us have journalism degrees, but neither of us work as a journalist?
Well, I just thought it was a massive waste of time.
Mine was.
Well, yeah. That's a story for another time, I feel like, for both of us.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's just power. It's fine. As you were.
Oh, what'd you lose?
It's
Your
just power. It's one of those magnetic ones that just kind of like sits on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn yourself back on, would you?
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Bloop.
Yeah, right. What a start. Wowee.
Do we want to go again or are we happy with this?
No, I'm happy with this. This
Great.
is a great way to be. And
Yeah,
if you're
right.
listening, fucking put up with it. I'm sorry for swears. That's automatically going to demonetize the podcast.
How are you, Sam?
I'm well, thank you, Max.
That's great to hear.
I've got some gifts for the club.
Oh.
It's a pretty barren wall at the
Woo.
moment.
Yeah.
These are all our guests.
That was my favourite.
Well, obviously we've got the doors.
Oh.
Well, they're not. They're the blinds. It's
Michael Slater. Slats.
That's a stretch. Well, I come bearing gifts, like I said,
Yeah, please.
because every week we're bringing a vinyl of the week.
Mhm.
We're putting it in this lovely frame that you've provided, and I
Thank
got
you.
one specifically for you.
No, thanks.
So I've hidden it because you know as soon as you see it.
We should hang the vinyl up, but... Oh, you got me a Coles bag.
It cost me fucking heaps. So I'm just going to show the camera.
Oh, no, what is this?
I've got it upside down. It's the world-renowned Tickets to My Downfall by Machine Gun Kelly.
Do you own this or are you renting this from a library?
Oops, shit.
Oh, hang on. He's had a mare here. No, it's gone. She's gone forever.
Like the namesake, he's trying to come out of the confines of genres. That's another stretch, wasn't it? Sadly, I do own
speechless.
it. Sadly, I do own it, but it's got such hits as Forget Me Too, featuring Halsey. Title track,
Oh, yep.
which is the first song. It's
Yep.
got Concert for Aliens.
Oh. It's got the Black Bear song I can see.
My Ex's Best Friend, yeah.
Mm.
So, lots of missable songs.
Admissible in court for when he eventually goes down for the emo girl.
What? I don't know what you mean, to be honest, and I'm not gonna dive into it. But that's this one, and I'll put this in a safe place.
There's worse albums to fucking hoik across the room, I'll tell you that much.
And then I'm also showing my legs for the first time on the podcast.
Look at those fucking pins.
Look at the pins on them.
Oi!
And I'm wearing Crocs.
Oh! Now that is abhorrent.
That's a word and a half.
Yeah, that is a crime against various...
I'll tell you what, they're very comfy, but are you an attack mode or defense mode?
I play all of my three-headed white blue eyes dragons face down.
Three-headed, one eyes,
What are they called? Because there was blue eyes white dragon.
red eyes, black dragon as well.
No, sorry, blue eyes white dragon. Then red eyes black dragon, and then there was if you had three, you could like merge them, couldn't you?
Well, they also...
Fuck, we are too deep into this already.
We're talking...
I hate
India.
it.
So 3 blue eyes. I'm going to look up...
You look up that. I'm gonna get out my present for you, which this might be the last present I bring.
Blue eyes ultimate dragon.
Nah, that wasn't it. Nah,
It is.
bullshit.
It's the card.
Yeah, maybe you're right there. Anyway, this might be the last gift I bring to the show.
Can you please trade me Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in exchange for Exodia?
That's a terrible trade.
Well, it depends how many parts of Exodia you've got.
Well, if you got all 5, you set.
What have you got for me?
So this was a gift to me from
Yeah.
my sister.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah.
And I forgot that I had it.
It's a black hat.
It's a black hat.
I don't wear them very often.
No, I can tell.
Yeah.
When are you going to take it off? The fans have been asking.
They actually have, which has shocked me that people are fascinated by my Sun protection.
your cranium, your noggin,
My
your dome.
What's
Anyway.
it say?
Anyway, have as good as that one.
Oi!
Oi!
That's our first peach.
It's our first
Peach of Merce.
First pizza merch.
And we got this years ago.
Well, I got it. Yeah, probably got it. I think I got it for my birthday last year, which is about 12 months ago.
Yeah, right.
And I completely. I thought I told you, but I mustn't have.
No,
So-
this is the first I've seen of it.
Yeah. So
I feel like we should keep it in the studio.
yeah, sure.
This is great. Let's
Place
just
it
put
on
it
there.
right up here.
Yeah, there you go.
Wowee, hey.
There's no not for sale. It's a one of a kind piece.
If you do want an Amped hat, let us know in the comments. Because,
Those are gonna be quiet comments.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Mm.
And I mean, yeah, I'm stoked with that.
Yeah.
And then you could pair it with our 6 shades.
Oh, that's a good festy outfit.
Oh, my God. Grooving the move.
If you got a laneway or something like that.
Laneway was last weekend.
I know, I could hear it from my balcony. It's quite nice.
Did you hear about the Steve Lacey Brisbane set?
He didn't play.
Well,
And my mind is saying the internet. And I'm like, no, that's just his band. I couldn't remember the name of the song.
Bad Habits.
That's the one. Yeah.
Didn't he play Bad Habits?
No, he did, but he didn't sing it. Like he just let the crowd sing it.
Well, I heard that it was very underwhelming and that he wasn't a big fan of Brisbane, to be honest.
Oh, really? Why? What?
He said in Sydney he played the worst show he'd ever played.
That's good. Good one for the fans.
Good one for the fans.
Yeah.
Don't you love it when the singers just let the crowd sing after you've paid hundreds of dollars to see them? It's my favourite. I love
I actually don't hate it. As long as it's a good it's a good show. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Because when you see a band live, it's not often that they sound like they do when they're recorded. So as long as it's a good
True.
show, as long as the lack in sound quality is made up for with a highlight of interactivity and fun, and they're putting energy into it, you know, all
Just
that
fun
sort
for
of
the whole family, you
stuff.
know?
Just a good old-fashioned fun fest.
Anyway, something new.
Yeah.
You got something?
I do have something. I've got two somethings.
Can you give me one?
Sure. I'll tell you what. I'll just say a word and then you can just riff. Just see how
Let's
you go.
riff.
Yeah. The greatest night in pop.
Oh, yeah, that's a Netflix thing.
Yes.
Haven't watched it.
Okay, great.
Tell me about it.
To clarify,
Cindy Lauper's in it,
Cyndi Lauper is in it.
so it can't be that good.
Lionel Richie. Cyndi Lauper's great. What are you talking about?
She's no Bette Midler.
Niche.
Very.
It's actually not even that niche. It's just that people our age probably don't know that.
Show your range, kids.
It's a what do they call it?
It's a
documentary.
Netflix show.
Thank you.
It's a documentary.
Documentary about them coming together. All the pop artists in America coming together for Feed the World.
Yep. That's that Feed the World song.
Yes. Not the Christmas one.
Oh, right.
The other one.
I was about to go into the next
Not
one.
yeah, not the Christmas one.
Let them know it's
That
Christmas
was the
time.
British. All the British pop stars did.
That was Mr. Geldof.
Yeah, and then Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder, and Michael Jackson got all the American ones together for the other one. Which name I'm currently blanking on, which is not handy. I'll come back to that. Anyway, the song is fine. Like, it's a whatever song.
Yeah.
But the story of how they got them all together is actually quite interesting. About, they got this artist, which meant they could get this artist, things like that. And how it all came together. It's fun and stupid and, like, very self-congratulatory because it's like Lionel Richie making a documentary about how he made a song that, like, went to feed Africans. He's, like, very much sitting there being like, I took some time out of my life to save the children, it's quite nice, and it's a good watch if you have a spare hour and a half.
He took some time out of his career to be a judge in American Idol.
That's
so
true.
Wouldn't pump his tyres too much. They seem a bit overinflated. Need to let some air out.
And while we're on the topic of documentaries,
Yes.
I want to shout out a friend of the show, Nick Huntington, who's produced a documentary with our good friends here at 4ZZZ in Brisbane called Building the Scene. It's an audio documentary.
Yeah, right. So it's just a book.
It's almost just a podcast.
Niche.
And it's very Brisbane centric. So if you're listening not in Brisbane, probably not for you.
Probably not the right target audience.
But it's about how a variety of venues and spots around Brisbane came to be, and sort of like the history of music in like being played in Brisbane and where people could play it, and where there was a good space for different groups and scenes to get set up. So if you're into that kind of thing and just kind of a deep dive into little Brizzy history, Building the Scene by 4ZZZ. Get your ears on it.
Not a sponsored bit.
Not a sponsor. It's 4ZZZ, definitely not a sponsored place.
No. It's a firm pat on the back and a how do you do. Well, that was nice. I don't have anything new. Deep diving into the world of genres, Max.
Yep.
and I don't believe in labelling music, but I'm diving in anyway. But shoegaze, I'm getting into a bit of shoegaze at the moment.
Like 90s shoegaze, like Jesus Mary Chain and...
Nah, new school shoegaze, which to me just sounds like atmospheric rock, but which is sort of shoegaze anyway, but...
There's a crossover, you know, that kind of
heavier
pop shit.
Seems a bit heavier these days.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a rabbit hole I've gone down.
I mean, some of that 90s stuff was pretty heavy.
I like it.
Yeah. There's some My Bloody Valentine stuff that, like, you know...
Pretty sure MGK has a song called that.
Really?
Let me just check.
Hate that.
Pulled it out of the frame. Bloody Valentine, track 5.
Just clarify, this is not a paid spot. I would like to pay you to take it away.
Anyway.
Yeah, shoegaze.
Yes, that's all I had to say. I've just been listening to shoegaze, trying to get... Well, I was on the metal train for a while and put together a Australian metal playlist that you can find on Spotify via links on all of our socials. That's not a plug.
It's on there. It's on the files are in the computer. We're getting off.
We are getting off topic because we've got to wrap up the Grammys, which our audience haven't been that excited with. I haven't been that excited with, but you're the man in the know. Did you watch the Grammys?
Didn't watch because I in fact have a job, which surprises a lot of people. But I watched like a little live feed.
Yes.
Of like what was happening.
Give us the rundown.
I'll give you the cliff notes. We don't have to get too in depth.
Jay-Z had a big
monologue about how some artists are represented more than others. He didn't I don't think he specifically said Beyonce, but it was pretty heavily implied.
Didn't he say Beyonce has won the most Grammys but hasn't won Best Album or something?
He may have said it explicitly. Again, live feed, didn't see the speech, but just kind of got the gist.
I saw a headline.
Right.
So it must have been true if it was on the news.
That's what I've always said.
Rabbit hole.
Journalists, very truthful.
We're straight and narrow to the point of the truth.
Album of the year, we ended up assuming it would go to Midnights. Guess what? It went to Midnights. The record of the year, though, we didn't pick it. Went to Flowers, Miley Cyrus.
Yes, I did see that, and she's got a new bow.
Yes. I couldn't think of any bows apart from Ryan, and it wasn't going to work. Best new artist went to Victoria Monet.
Yep.
And song of the year, you picked it, Billie Eilish with What Was I Made For?
Great song.
You did very well there.
Thank you.
The other thing that was like quite notable, was Killer Mike from Run the Jewels got arrested
at the Grammys.
Yeah, right. On misdemeanor charges. So
yeah,
like,
so it's just
the LAPD knew he was going to be there, so they're like, "Hey, Michael."
They asked him for a definition, and he misdemeaning.
Fuck. Oh. Let's just move the podcast forward. That was... I hated everything about that.
I'll go.
I'll just handle this from here. Oh. So yeah,
I'll do the podcast from out here, everyone.
And Kylie Minogue won for Padum Padum, which is great.
What did she win?
Best pop dance performance.
Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue.
Where'd you get the W from?
Lots of words don't have W's that have W sounds.
Well, that's all well and good, Max.
Mm.
Well, I messaged you out of studio.
Off pod. OP.
OP.
Yep. And on pod also
AFK.
OP. AFK.
Away from keyboard. For all those not hip with it, Mum. I want to do a little game with you.
Yep.
I want to play Red Flag.
Do you want to take that statement from the top?
Let's start that one again, shall we? Max.
Do you want to take that statement from the top?
Good evening, Max, and welcome to the game.
Plaguing this podcast.
I want to play Red Flag, Green Flag, Music Edition.
Yep, let's do it.
All right. So how have you broken it up? Because I can go a range of things, but do you just want to keep it band or artist related?
Whatever you feel, Sam.
Well, I've got a few scenarios for you.
Scenarios? Okay, yeah.
Scenarios.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, let me just throw some at you.
Super Scenario Brothers.
I'm just going to put it as a person. Paint a picture of a person who's into this, band, artist, anything in between.
Yep. There's not much between band and artist. But
just a few people, usually.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 3.
Duo, maybe. Anyway, that's not important.
Anyway, that was a shit joke. Oh, no, I've lost my notes. There we go. So, their favourite band is the Foo Fighters.
Yep.
but they're below the age of 30.
They don't exist.
But is it a red flag or green flag?
Favorite band?
Favorite all time. Dave Grohl is the Messiah.
Oh, it's a bit of a red flag. It's either quite green flag because they're the best bloke on the work site, like the best plumber you know, or red flag, they're the worst bloke on the job site.
Oh, no, but Dave Grohl, did you know he's in Nirvana?
They rock up with, they put the Makita on,
Yeah.
flick it straight to Triple M, and it stays there. And if you go to touch it, if you're like, fuck, wouldn't mind a bit of the J's.
Oi!
Yeah, you get a, who the fuck is touching the Makita?
Show some respect to Taylor. Long may he rest. Fucking get back to work. Anyway, that was a good start.
I like that. Look, I've just got some bands. I
Yeah.
don't have a scenario. I just got a band.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it to you. Matchbox 20.
Today. Oh.
Matchbox 20.
It's just general. Fuck. I think it's a green flag.
Green flag?
It's a beige flag, maybe. It's not offensive,
Yeah.
but it's not interesting either.
Mm.
They're sort of a bland. They're like an oatmeal.
Okay.
Sort of like a oatmeal brown, light brown.
A puce, if you will.
Puce.
A torp.
Niche. I'd say, if I was leaning one way or the other, I'd say they're a green flag because they're just non-offensive.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually quite like Matchbox 20. But I know that they cop a lot of hate.
I just don't think that, like, they were good. They've got a few songs that are...
If you ever get a chance, listen to one of their albums. There's an acoustic version of 3 a.m. where it's just Rob Thomas on the piano. Belter.
That's a sentence I never thought I would hear. 3 a.m. Rob Thomas on the piano. Belter.
Did I tell you that my favourite band's Foo Fighters? And I haven't turned 30 just yet.
Fuck Triple J, man. Like, I listen to Triple M. They're the only triple letter I listen to.
There's like 6 letters out of the alphabet.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yep. Just in general?
And the people... Let's go the Chili Peppers and their diehard fans.
Here's the thing, right? I think Anthony Kiedis, Flea, John Frusciante, and Chad...
Will Ferrell.
Yep.
Chad Smith.
That was weird.
That was weird. Great in Blades of Glory, though.
Better in Anchorman. I think they are quite cool.
Yeah.
Like, as people. And there's a series of albums from between, like, Mother's Milk and Stadium Arcadium that are very cool.
Yeah.
And every song that they've released since then has been horrendous.
Yeah.
And they are only getting by on... They still do a good live show, but they're only getting by on, like, them being personally cool still. You know what I mean? Like, Scar Tissue has done a lot for that band. And I don't mean the song. I mean the book.
Yeah. Californication, probably... I reckon they've got maybe 6 songs they could hang their hat on, and the rest are a little bit...
Ooh.
Let's say 10.
I'll give you 10.
10 songs to hang their hat on, which is more than most bands.
That's a pretty solid record.
But
They're a very prolific band. As in, they release a lot. So, proportionally possibly red flag. But in terms of you just sat down and went, that's a banger, that's a banger, that's a banger, green flag.
So, what's your final verdict?
I'll go green, but it's just green.
Borderline.
It's borderline green.
It's borderline beige.
No, it's not. I wouldn't say it's beige. I would never say that they're boring. But like, their songs are either interesting and fucking terrible, or interesting and awesome.
Fair enough.
And you can be on an album and it's just one to the next. You know what I mean? They can just mix
You can skip
together.
right through it.
Yeah.
Skip from 1 to 10 within 3 seconds and be done with it.
Yeah.
Out the door. That's you.
Eminem.
Oh, I was going to write him down. You've got some damage to your ceiling, actually.
Oh, I do actually. Fuck, that's not good.
Need to call a plasterer.
Call the studio managers.
I actually Yeah. When you did that, I just got all top teeth. He's not a virgin. Can you believe it?
Have you checked?
Well, no, I haven't asked the question, but I'm assuming. For all those listening, sorry. Eminem.
Yeah.
As a whole.
I wouldn't have called him that, but sure. That's your words, not mine.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, as the collective discography, the whole thing, red flag, green flag.
I'd say it's a green flag.
Okay.
I'd say that he's done enough work early days.
Yep. He did put in the effort.
To maintain the green flag status.
Yep.
His new stuff, questionable.
Yep.
But his legacy.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw something at you.
Yep.
Eminem fans.
Oh no, red.
Huge red flags.
Huge red flag. They're up there with Radiohead fans.
Anyone who's like, he's the greatest rapper of all, like, and he's a great rapper, don't get me wrong, and he could be the greatest rapper of all time.
Notice how only like white boys say that.
Like, I feel like he's a rapper's rapper in the sense of like, other rappers respect his flow, and like, it is good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, there's a lot of people who are like, he's the greatest musician that's ever lived. He rhymed orange with something, and I'm like,
door hinge.
It's some of the cringiest shit I've ever seen on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fans a red flag. As an artist, overall green.
Overall green.
Overall green.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tick.
Yep.
Ting. I've got a scenario for you.
Yep. Shoot it at me. I'm just warming up, just stretching.
Roll them over. All right, on the trot. We owe these. Anyway. AC/DC.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep.
And their fans under 40.
Oh. It's a small group.
Nice.
I'd count myself as an AC/DC fan. Like, as in, like, I'd go see them.
Would you?
Would you go see them?
No.
You wouldn't go see AC/DC?
No.
Okay. I'd go see them.
I just go to the retirement home. They do a rock night every 3 months.
Deep respect for them.
Mm. Oh, same.
For the band.
Yeah.
A lot of bangers.
A lot of bangers. Put Australia on the map in the rock world.
But again,
maybe
very prolific. And I did a quiz at work one time.
Of course you did.
Of like all the song titles that they had that are like rock and roll something. Yep. Or like rock something. And there was like 20, 25. And
wow.
But it's like rock and roll train, rock and roll boat. Like
rock and roll blues.
They're just like rock and roll noun. And then they're just like, sweet, that's a song, let's roll.
Rock and roll Crocs.
Croc and roll.
Oh.
Thank you. So AC/DC, green flag. AC/DC fans, heavy red flag. Heavy red flag.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, one final one. I've got two to pick from, and I don't know which one.
Just do both. Rapid round.
No, I'll just do one. I'll save one for later. BTS.
Don't know a lot about them.
Okay. I'm going to preface this. Very vigilant fan community online.
I've seen that.
And we might, if you answer wrong here, we could be in trouble.
Did you hear that?
That they're already here.
Fuck.
They're running. They're sprinting at us right now. Anthony Kiedis in the Under the Bridge film clip just fucking wuss.
Well, I feel like I'm being pressured into saying green flag.
No, I'm not telling you have to. I'm just saying think about your actions. They have consequences.
They're unoffensive to me. I'd sit neither here nor there.
Okay.
I get the feeling it's like AC/DC or like any of the other bands we said. Radiohead, that was last week's episode. Chili Peppers, Eminem, Foo Fighters, AC/DC. Green flag for the band. They make hits. I feel like I'm being dragged down a direction, but they're unoffensive to me.
Okay.
The fans, though, not my favourite. They're up there with Swifties.
Oh.
Just like having... I know they're not Japanese. They're Korean.
They're Korean, yeah.
K-pop.
Yeah.
But just being in Japan, that world, J-pop,
very excitable fans.
Very excitable.
Rabid, some would say.
Well, I was there when there was a meet and greet. Some J-pop star was at Tower Records when I was there.
Right.
Had no idea. They were lined up in the staircase, 8 stories. At 12 o'clock. The appearance was at 2.
And you just walked by. Oh, g'day. How's it going?
Oh, Amity Affliction doing a signing at City Beach, are they? Wow.
That feels like it's from your personal history.
Oh, I've been there. City Beach in the city. Shout out. Getaway plane with
The
there
true
as well.
story one with the escalator.
Yeah, they were
You
up.
have to go the stairs down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
pretty exciting, obviously. Getting my CD booklet signed.
Oh, mate. Your 3/4 Billabong shorts with side pockets would have been just fucking...
And drop the Anchor t-shirt.
Oh. Chain wallet?
No.
Oh.
I had
You
some.
might be a bit young for that.
I think so. You had one.
Yeah. Mate,
Yeah.
I was alive in 2004.
Yeah, we both were. I was just in year 1. That's actually not too far from the truth. Year 2, I think. Well, that's a good start.
Yeah, we've covered a few there.
I think we've got some more. I think we're going to go into specifics. I actually had one for you if you want to pull out the last one as well.
All right, go for it.
Say, in a hypothetical world.
Yep.
We're both accounted for.
Yep.
Sorry to the comments on our TikTok. We've had comment each, which is quite flattering. But we're not in the conversation. I'm sorry. We're not up for negotiation. We will not be processing deals at this time. But hypothetically.
Yeah.
Say you're a single man.
Yep.
You meet a woman. You get on like a house on fire.
Yep.
You're drawn to it like a moth to a flame.
Mm-hmm.
Have the best time in the world. You go out for a nice drink. She's, the ant's pants.
Yep.
So she's the ant's pants, but to relax, she listens to Knocked Loose.
Okay.
Red flag, green flag.
Relax to knock me loose. Okay.
Mm.
I mean, whatever floats your boat. I'm going to go green flag purely because it's a bold move, and I appreciate a bold move.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I don't have to agree with a bold move, but I appreciate a bold move.
And then she'll probably be emotionally distant for the entire relationship.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
I'd probably draw the line at like being barked at. But who knows?
Swinging elbows in the bedroom.
In the pit.
Good club for a stabbing.
The snake pit in Alexandria.
Alexandria.
Alexandria Hills.
Alexandria. Yes. Notorious.
Had to bring in the wands at one point.
Did they?
Yeah.
Too many people carrying knives.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So you said green flag.
Broadly green flag.
Okay.
If we got into specifics.
So say you're teaching her the art of love.
Yeah, me, like, great teacher. Yeah.
You're playing some Paul Simon.
Like, you can call me Al or Graceland or something?
Oh, maybe not Paul Simon. Simon and Garfunkel.
Okay. Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Yeah. Or Sound of Silence.
Sound of Silence, yeah.
Yeah, or the other ones.
49th Street Blues.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
Great song, by the way.
Not bad.
Say you're just playing some Simon and Garfunkel.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, she starts playing Knocked Loose in her head.
In her head, yeah.
She goes, "Arr, arr," and then starts throwing elbows. Probably a red flag.
What if we cut the difference and just played Sound of Silence by Disturbed?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Wow. Wow. Anyway, I sort of went down a rabbit hole there. I was trying to
that's okay.
trying to bend you towards a certain direction, but that's okay.
That's all right. I'm a tolerant boy, you know?
You got the patience of a saint.
Now, something else that we thought we'd talk about today.
Oh, I didn't want to go to the last
Oh,
one.
sorry, I didn't do my
No,
last
that's okay. It's just I'm reading the run sheet and apparently someone else isn't.
I'll just leave a small gap. So my last one for you. I'm not even going to bother cutting it out. My last one for you. He's known around the world. In fact,
Gabriel Iglesias.
he's Mr. Worldwide. He's Pitbull, Sam.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
The artist himself?
Just the whole thing.
Wow. Strong green flag from me.
He seems like a good bloke.
I genuinely think he's like probably just a lad. Just
I
one
think
of the
he's a
boys.
good bloke.
And I genuinely fuck with a lot of his music. It's pretty it's dumb, but
With
it's
the
fun.
worldwide.
It's dumb, but it's fun.
Well, at least he hasn't tried to end racism like David Guetta.
By performing on the Opera House or whatever the fuck that was. Or the Sydney Harbour Bridge or whatever.
We need to come together. Let's go. Drops the hardest EDM.
To be fair, if you got I feel like if you got like some BLM protesters and like some clan members and they all took heaps of ecstasy.
That's right.
And like got into like just the sickest rave, I reckon we could solve racism.
That's right, because he's like, George Floyd.
Yeah, that's what it was around.
Rest in peace. If you haven't looked at it,
you know what?
Look up David Guetta.
Lucky David Guetta solved racism.
Yeah, look up David Guetta ends racism. You won't be disappointed.
Oh, MDMA can do wonders, Sam.
It can. Jeez, drugs are a hell of a thing. Anyway, before I rudely cut you off, Max.
Yeah.
No need to laugh. I don't know what you're even referring to. I put a question to you before.
Yeah.
If you could delete one song in history forever, what would it be?
I feel like this one's could be quite controversial, Sam. And I want to preface this by I don't think it's a bad song.
You love prefacing things to save your own ass, don't you?
But I think it's a shit song. Stairway to Heaven.
Oh!
Of all the things I've ever said, that's the one that's got you.
It's just... It's a collection of things.
Yeah.
It's the last 3 minutes of this chat, really.
Yeah.
But you just going swinging for one of the biggest songs ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a bit shit, isn't it?
I never said that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Sam. It is a fucking...
Oh, I didn't say that.
She's a bit shit. I think, all right, on its own, it's fine. It's not actually that shit. Like, I respect that it's a decent song, but it just kind of, like...
just bloody goes on forever, doesn't it?
It does, to be fair. Fuck, calm down. Like, just tap the brakes. Jimmy, like, we get it. But...
I don't agree. I think there's worse songs.
But hang on, you haven't...
All right. The floor is yours.
Because specifically you said that we're deleting from existence.
Yes.
And so for my mind, if we're deleting that from existence, then we're deleting, like, what happened after that. You know, and, like, what that led to.
14 more minutes of Stairway to Heaven.
Yes. But specifically, it just kind of was, like, this escalation in this arms race of just, like, prog rock horse shit where people were just like... Oh, my guitar solo goes for 95 minutes, and none of it's actually melodic.
On my guitar.
Yeah, like it's all incredible guitarists that are just not an enjoyable experience.
It's a shin swinging contest.
It is, and you know, we talked about it. I think maybe the start of this year, or maybe the end of last year, when you go to a concert and you want the song that you're there to see is on, and then they get to the bit, and then they play a 95-minute extended blues solo. Fuck off.
I'm going to look right down the barrel. John Mayer. Enough of the solos. But I disagree with that. Okay. Because what I'm bringing to the table is just not even... It's chalk and cheese. Because you're saying you delete Stairway to Heaven over this song.
It's going to have to be a pretty shit song.
It's pretty shit. Dance Monkey by Turns and I.
Nah, Stairway to Heaven still.
Oh, no!
I would rather...
You would keep Dance Monkey over Stairway to Heaven?
I would rather endure 3 more months of that song being number one song in the world. Like, it's fine. It is a completely fine song.
But Stairway to Heaven is not.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is. Again, Dance Monkey happened. It went away. No one's thought about it since.
But
Stairway to Heaven,
yeah.
you go to any, like, it is the wonder wall of a guitar shop where someone will fucking take it off the wall and just fucking... Like, it's fucking everywhere.
Bar, isn't it?
No, but it does that weird, like, ring, like, little hammer on or whatever that fucking does. I'm not a guitarist, you know.
It's paradiddle.
It's not a paradiddle. But
one paradiddle.
it can absolutely
suck them up.
go the way it can lick my Sam.
I'd actually throw this in here as well.
That's not one song, Sam.
No, but you could bin the whole thing.
You could easily.
The whole discography after El Diablo, I reckon.
Oh, just all of it.
No, I like a little bit of the trap stuff. Not much, but a little bit. Well, that was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can follow us on the socials.
Yeah. Look, we mentioned it before.
Social.
At 78 Ant. Wherever you get your social content.
Not Facebook.
Not Facebook.
Not Twitter.
No. X.
Not LinkedIn. We're not on Pinterest. We're not on Snapchat. We're not on Quora.
Quora.
We're not on Google Images.
We're on the Wavepool forums. Like, how deep are you going?
We're not in Discord.
I'm in Bebo.
We're not on Bebo. We're not on MySpace.
What was the one that Zack Snyder made? Vero?
I think that was Justice League.
Yeah, the Snyder Cut.
Jeez, you're putting the pressure on me early, Maxi.
Someone's got to do it.
Well, I'm sure I just rinsed you in the previous part of this potty, but we're coming in with the boys from Slim Jimz who actually have listened to our podcast before, which is incredible pressure on us, Max. But we are joined by Ben and Zach. Lads, welcome.
Thanks, boys. Nice to be here.
Thanks for having us, dudes.
I think it's the very first time that we've ever had anyone on the show who's actually heard the podcast. So, like, this is bad.
Just a huge fan, really. Just dripping with anxiety right now.
Well, that makes 4 of us. So on that note, well, we start the show the same way every single time. So if you've listened to this podcast before, you will know this question's coming, but we get you to open up your Spotify or Apple Music and give us a bit of insight into what you're listening to lately.
You will laugh at this. Can I go first? Is that all right, Ben?
Yeah, you go first. I'm not ready.
The last song I just listened to, which I don't reckon I've listened to for 6 years, is Where the City Meets the Sea by the Getaway Plan.
Yeah,
Belter, though. Belter.
Such a cracker. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh,
Such a good
we did a
song.
video on our TikTok not too long ago, and I cannot believe how how many people got around it. Still to this day, like, it is such a good song.
It gets a few rotations. I'll tell you what, it's fucking red hot banger.
Yeah, we might have to add that to like a Slim Jimz playlist or something on Spotify.
Big tune. Okay, I've been listening to Sons of the East recently. So my girlfriend's into country music and I'm not really, but we find like that's like a nice middle ground for us. And also I've been listening to the Vans as well. We just played a show with them recently, actually, but like even before I knew we were playing with them, like I've always been a massive fan of their music. So yeah, playing with them recently was sick.
Yeah, bloody oath. That new album that they released last year was getting some big rave reviews out of us. It was stacked full of great hits, that one.
Yeah, Last of Your Kind, so good. Like just every song on the album is just crazy. Like big fan of those boys.
Let's get into chatting some Slim Jimz. Your latest single is Now You're Gone. It's got a bit of a classic post-breakup track feel. What was the heartbreak that kind of led to this one?
It's kind of like when you've had like a relationship with someone and it's just like not really working out, but then you stop talking, but then you kind of want to like, you're like, oh, I have things that I want to say to that person, but like, you know that like you can't go back and talk to them because it's just going to open up a whole can of worms basically. But yeah, just kind of like, yeah, like, and not wanting to like be on bad terms with that person as well, and just kind of wanting to move on, but like also, you know, you have things that you want to say to them. Yeah, that's basically the story behind it.
Have you ever, like, you know, you write these songs? Well, sorry, I should probably ask you first. Do you write these songs about any one person in particular or any one relationship, or are they kind of just a bit of an amalgam of a few different things?
Kind of just like a lot of the songs are about relationships, but like, yeah, they're all different relationships, I guess.
Have you ever had like the response from anyone who's like picked up the bits that might be about them?
No, not yet, but I'm waiting for it to happen.
Maybe someone will write like a diss track about Ben soon or something.
You'll have like the Swifties coming after you, being like, they were dating, that was the wrong scarf or some horse shit.
You sound like you're chatting from experience, Maxie. You're a Swiftie.
Mate, big Swiftie. Huge Swiftie. Mate, Dead Poets, the fuck, whatever it's called, the new album. So keen.
I still love Trouble. Trouble was her best song, surely.
It is a banger. Look, in all seriousness, I do actually fuck with a bit of Taylor Swift, which is probably deadly to say on this podcast, but sink us pretty quickly.
There's not that many listeners to cancel us anyway, Maxie, so we're okay. But lads, musically, the track, it's a little bit more intricate than the sort of big sweeping melodies and that your fans sort of know you for. The chords are sounding heavier, they're darker. I mean, can you chat to us a little bit about the progression in that sense and how you sort of see your sound positioned now?
You want to take this one, Zach?
Yeah, I think like almost unintentional, but I feel like half the band kind of grew up listening to heavy music. Like, I'm a huge Parkway Drive fan from back in the day. Rage Against the Machine, and our drummer Dixon, our other guitarist, loved Slipknot growing up. Um, and we're not just gonna jump into like creating a song like that, but we just kind of, and then I suppose the other half of the band like really likes indie rock music, and we kind of just try to mix the two of them as best as we can unintentionally. And I think with an emotive song like Now You're Gone, it kind of made sense that, breakups aren't this like linear kind of thing. It's a bit messy and it's a bit chaotic. So we were kind of pulling from like, there's almost like funk moments. There's kind of a punk element to how Ben sings some of the lines. And yeah, it was just a bit of a mixed bag of our producer really just kind of tied it all together. And we were like, okay, sweet, this can actually work.
It's like you kind of mentioned that the producer kind of stitches it together. Was it a bit of a mixed bag when you rocked up with the different pieces and the parts to the sessions, or?
It was kind of like we had this good idea for a song and we jammed it out heaps, but we hadn't fully nailed the structure yet. It was like the verse was there, the chorus was there, and there was a good bridge idea, but it was just like kind of figuring out how it should progress. And like when we went into the studio, we actually didn't know. So he kind of had to sit there for a second and be like, all right, like, and it was a bit of a tricky one. Like it's probably the trickiest one so far, but like he did a really good job of just like listening to the whole track and like kind of just getting the best out of it. And like, yeah, I think the way it progresses towards the end and like how it builds and stuff is just so cool. So yeah, he nailed it.
Yeah, this is Jack from Sonora Studios up the Central Coast, by the way.
Jack Negro.
So he pretty much like we brought the song in, and I remember he like put his head in his hands like this for a second.
Always a good sign.
Yeah, he was like, I like this, but like it needs work. I'm like, okay, shit. And then anyway, we just really stripped it back. Like the song starts with just like, simple drum beat, and it just builds from there. And the last 2 minutes are just kind of like this charge. So yeah.
Love it. I mean, on Now You're Gone, obviously it's dropped, and then you've dropped the 2 singles last year as well. I know you probably can't give too much away, but is this ramping up to a full length? Can we sort of get excited to see a little bit more? I mean, how much can you tell us in that sense?
Yeah, definitely. Like so at the start of last year, so it was actually a while ago, we recorded like 4 songs, and then we did another 2, like about 3 months ago or something. So the plan is to release a 6-track EP, and that's going to come out probably in like April. So we're pretty keen for that. There's like, and like, I know we've all discussed like the hardest thing about this bunch of songs is we all like this song so much, so differently, that we're very torn on like which ones we should put out as single. Like there was so many discussions, and like everyone had different ideas about which one they liked the best, which made it hard. But yeah, pretty keen to get the whole thing out as a like a 6-track EP, so like everyone can just listen to all the tracks together, because I think they're great songs.
How do you decide as a band which single you put out? If one person's loving one song, you're loving another, who gets the big dick swinging vote to be like, nah, this is our single?
Maybe you then. Maybe you swing it most.
Yeah. I don't know, honestly, like it's hard because you ask the band, everyone has different ideas, so then you go and ask other people outside of the band, and then they have different ideas about it as well. So it ends up going like, I think when we decided this one, we were coming back from a gig or something, and we're talking about how the song went live, and everyone was like, yeah, like this is the one, like let's do it. And like it's almost like, let's just not make any more decisions, like let's just do it, because otherwise this is just going to keep going round and round in circles and we're never going to decide. So got to just lock one in.
Was Now You're Gone the one you wanted, Ben, before you played the shows, or?
Well, it changed, honestly. Like, then it was like, and then you're like, oh, you know what? Actually, I like this one. Like, I feel like, and everyone had the same experience. Like, everyone was like, gets hyped on one song, and then like, your mind change. And then someone comes up to them after a gig and they're like, "Oh, what was that song you guys played? Like that should be your next single." And you're just like, well, now change everything. Like,
It's
but yeah,
a good problem. Like we like all the songs. I think that's where you want
yeah.
to be.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, oh, we can't choose the next one because they can't all suck.
Yeah, it's shit.
We had Killian from Boy and Bear on the show last year, and he was talking about a couple of albums ago. They sat down, they had like 14 songs or something like that. They only had room for 13 on the album, and they had to cut one. And he was backing this one song the whole way. He's like, "This is the one. It's in. Don't worry, we're safe." And the whole rest of the band turned to him. They were like, "Man, nah, it's out. What are you doing? You're the only one who likes this song. Fuck off."
Oh, can you just release it as a solo project? Can you really be snappy with them?
Look, let's zoom out a little bit from just you guys, but there's a real kind of like groundswell of psych rock projects coming, especially out of Sydney in the last few years. And I'm going to stretch Sydney to include Newey when I say bands like Rum Jungle, obviously big bands like Ocean Alley, Lime Cordiale, but there's a real range. I mean, what's in the water in Sydney at the moment that's kind of making that sound feel so fresh and new every time it kind of comes back around with a new outfit?
God, I don't know. Like, I think like everyone looks up to those big bands like Lime Cordiale and like Ocean Alley heaps. So I reckon there's a big scene, but like to be honest, like in Sydney, like there's bands around and stuff, but like I don't think there's anything over here that's going on in comparison to what's going on in Perth. Like I see like the scene that's going on in Perth. And like I'm just like blown away. Like it's I feel like there's just kind of bands in our sort of genre, like all seem to be living in Perth. Like there's bands in Sydney, but I feel like it's way bigger what's going on in Perth at the moment.
Yeah, would you say the Ryans? I don't know if they're psych rock though, but they're
Like kind of in that
they
same.
Beaches. Yeah, Beaches
Yeah.
boys.
Well, the Beaches, it's interesting you mentioned the Beaches because I feel like a lot of the bands that have been coming up out of Sydney have been kind of like, been made in the cauldron that is all the smaller venues around the beaches. Like, 10, 15 years ago, you'd be looking inner west to see where the bands are coming out. But now places like the Stain and the DYRSL are hosting like a real little scene. Is there anything about that, like the beaches area that's kind of adding that flavor that's giving it that go?
I don't know. I feel like there definitely is like, but for us personally, like we don't play that much at the beaches, I don't think. Like I feel like we played most of our shows in the inner west. So like I don't know, I think like everyone's drawn to that like surfy kind of style of music and very influenced by that. But like we play most of our shows like inner west kind of area. But I think like it's just like as I said, like bands like Ocean Alley and like Lime Cordiale, they're like kind of more coastal bands. So I don't know.
Yeah, our last show was at the Stain where we supported the bands, and that was sick. We were definitely like, okay, we need to come this way a lot more. Like a young, energetic crowd, just kind of open-minded. Just like you see like randoms just filming at the back. It's like, oh, this is cool. Like maybe we should play in Manly more. Like people actually go out. Like I don't know.
Did you take some time after you finished the Stain to smoke Tommy Turbo on the Corso after the gig?
No,
do you want to run 100 meters, make him bust his hamstring again?
I was thinking about it.
So, lads, a new track means some new live dates. You guys have had a couple of support slots in Newey and Manly, like we just talked about in Jan. Will fans be able to see you hitting the road? Could we expect a Brizzy show, Melbourne show? What's on the cards?
So we just actually signed with like a booking agency who's going to be organizing a little tour for us for our EP release in April, hopefully. So I think the idea is to do shows up in Byron, Brisbane, Sunshine Coast, and maybe Newcastle. So like all up the East Coast, and then maybe even one in Melbourne as well. So there's been like we've actually done one. We did a tour like last year with a band called South Summit, And we did a lot of these same venues, like the Beach Hotel in Byron Bay and stuff, and like
Which is sick.
yeah,
Sick.
great. And one in Byron. So we've kind of done it before, but we'd be very keen to get back out there and do it again. Like it was so much fun, and like just good playing like to venues outside of Sydney. I feel like it's just good to get the music out there, you know.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's a very you know, we talk about the fans loving the coastal music on the northern beaches, but I feel like Byron would be a similar vibe, if not you know, getting everyone out in their bucket hats.
Yeah. Everyone there is just happy and like really good looking. It's like so like everyone wants to go out and see music. It's so cool.
That's where you can film all your best crowd shots at the Byron gigs.
Yeah.
Well, Slim Jim's latest single is Now You're Gone. Get it into your ears wherever you get your music. It sounds like also keep your ears and eyes peeled in April for an upcoming EP and maybe some live dates. Ben, Zach, thanks for taking the time tonight to come and have a chat with us.
Thanks, Sam and Max. It's been so good.
Yeah, no dramas. Thank you so much. Huge fan.
Oh, that was still recording, even better.